Hey you guys, it's your girl 𝐒𝐮𝐬𝐬. Today in this video I showed you guys my everyday makeup routine. Before we get into it, I do want to apologize that I had my ceiling light off because I thought if I had the ceiling light off it looked better, but I actually prefer this light on. If you guys are interested in finding like an affordable makeup routine, definitely check this one out, especially for the summer coming up because it's not too much product on your face. I let you guys know all the steps I did. I let you know for the most part which brushes I was using. With that being said, let's get started. Hey y'all, I'm gonna be telling you guys what I'm doing to my makeup, what products I'm using. So let's get started. All right, my face is nice and clean. There's nothing on it right now. My hands are also clean. I just washed them. The first thing I do is go in with my moisturizer. I use The Ordinary. This is the Natural Factors plus HA. So I just go in with this, and I don't apply that much because I do have oily skin, so for me applying a lot doesn't help me. And I know you should go in with sunscreen, but I'm not gonna lie, don't always do that just because like I haven't really been out in the sun too much. But the next thing I'm doing is going in with the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. I do really like this primer, but I don't necessarily know if it's the best for oily skin. As far as mattifying your face, you definitely have to have a good setting powder that goes with it. The first thing after I prime my face and stuff is actually do my eyebrows. I use the NYX Lift and Snatch brow tint pen. This is like the best eyebrow stuff I've ever tried. I think the pen just makes it look more realistic and natural. Alright, so I'm gonna just brush my eyebrow hairs out. I usually shake it, and so then I just like go in and make thin strokes. And you do have to be very light with this product unless you want like a dark look. But me, I like it to look as close to my like eyebrow as possible. And do you see the difference? See, like that was a little dark. It does seem like when you're using the product and you do put too much, it kind of like works out in the end. Sometimes you may have to like pat a little bit of it, but right here it's a little too much, so I usually just pat it. It works out. I think the front hairs are like usually the hardest for me, but this is what they look like right now. I know my eyebrows aren't even, please. Let's not talk about it. The next thing I usually do is go in with my concealer. I use a concealer as foundation. This is my holy grail. I don't know if this is supposed to be a dupe for something, but it's $7. It's literally my go-to. It works pretty much for this one. I just apply dots all over my face, and you could build this concealer up depending on how much coverage you want. Personally, as it gets hotter outside, I don't want that much product on my face, so I'm usually only doing a couple dots. And then for my eyebrows, I put one dot of the tan neutral in the middle, like that. Do the same thing to the other side, and I do have a pimple right there. All right, I do that. That's how much I put. Quick intermission. I've had this band on for a while, so don't mind the lace. Just wait. So my next step, I take my other shade of the e.l.f. concealer. You see the dots that I have under my eyebrows? I'm gonna put 2 dots around on the side of each one. Put a dot here, dot here. Make sure you're putting enough product. Now I take like this flat brush, looks like this. I'm gonna outline the bottom of my brows. And so I'm pretty much just mixing the 3 dots together and then going up under to clean up the brow. Like that. And then I go in and do the other one. Again, I'm just like blending out the 3 dots and then going up under to clean it up. So this one, I do like the shape a little bit more in the front better, so I'm gonna go back in with the pen and kind of create a few. The next thing I'm gonna do is blend out the concealer. This is the Real Techniques buffing brush. I usually use Morphe spray, so my alternative when I was out, I just picked up some LA Girl setting spray. This is like a fix and set dupe of the MAC one. I recommend Morphe spray, but this is all I have. So sometimes I spray my face, sometimes I spray the brush. It really doesn't matter to me, but then I go in and I just dab Now when it comes to the forehead and you have a wig, it is a little tricky. I try to stay away from the lace as much as I can, but you do see like I have some dark spots. I like to just get like in between my eyebrows first, and then we'll worry about that part later. I'm using this brush from Real Techniques. It's actually a contour brush. This is the 206. I use it for my concealer. I know I should probably have a smaller brush than this, but I liked how when I blend it under my eyes, it just blends nicely. I don't have to like, since it is big, I'm able to just like get it all versus spending time on one area having to dab it, if that makes sense. I just got this new e.l.f. camo liquid blush. I really want to try it, and this is my first time trying it, so I'm gonna try not to put that much, but if this goes wrong, you know why. I already told you, this is my first time using it, so let's see how this goes. And this is in the shade Dusty Rose. Alright, so I'm only gonna put like those 2 dots right there and 2 dots right here. Alright, and this is my brush that I use for blush. This is just like an Amazon brush. I'm just gonna dab it and we're gonna see what it does. I think I am gonna put some on the back of my hand though, because it's not picking up too much. Let's just add more. I'd rather it be too little than too much, so I could just build it up. It's pretty. Next, we're gonna get to contour. This is my go-to, especially in the summer. This is the True Complexion Cream Contour Palette in the shade Medium to Deep. I go in with the middle shade, the Sculpt shade. I also sprayed my brush before. As you can see, my nose looks a little defined, but it's gonna look more defined once we conceal. For the conceal shade, I use medium warm. Now it is a little bright, so for my first layer, I do mix a little bit of the tan neutral. And by first layer, I'm gonna show you guys what I mean. All right, so I usually go like that, like that. That's my placement. And back with the tan neutral. I just take a little bit on the end of the inner corner placement. I sprayed my brush and I'm doing like a light tapping motion, and I'm gonna go along the side of my nose first and then blend out that way. Now, my nose, I know y'all see that, it looks crazy. Usually I take the excess because there is some excess, and I go down the bridge. And then middle of my eyebrows. And on my chin. I use this angled brush. You just want to take a small brush and kind of fix up what you had going on with the contour, your nose, and you want to bring it up the side of your bridge as well. You might have to go back in and fix your eyebrow highlight. Sometimes it goes too far up where it's like going into your eyebrow. You do want to take some concealer and go down the bridge of your nose. I just do little teeny dots of both, and then sometimes I use my finger, honestly, because I feel like sometimes the brush, I don't think I have a brush that gets it in the right position. Sometimes it's just easier to like dab it. Go back in with that brush and make sure it's not too harsh. And this is what we're looking like. Now you can go in with a second layer of concealer if you want a more like coverage look. But me personally, I think it looks pretty good, so I'm gonna just leave it as it is right now. I use the Morphe setting powder in Banana, and I use these little powder puffs to set it. I'm in a pack of like 6 from Marshalls or TJ Maxx, or like that, for like $5, I think. So I start from the inner corner and I pretty much like work my way out. Some people bake. Me personally, I don't really bake it. I kind of like press it into my skin. On my nose, in between the brows, the other side. the sides of my mouth and then under my brows slash lid. And I kind of like dab it and pull it if it's starting to crease. Next, I'm gonna set my bronzer. This is the other Black Radiance palette, but this is the powdered version. This one's medium to dark. I go with the Sculpt shade in the middle. I don't like it to be too harsh, so I'd rather do it lightly and build up. And the brush I'm using is just a eco brush. Now I'm gonna take a brush like the one we used earlier for our nose and go over my nose. And I'm also like dusting away the powder that's there, that's in the way of it, and I'm bringing it under my brow. Once that is done, I'm pretty much finished for my makeup. I recently just added this. I definitely recommend a different one, but this is the Ruby Kisses Mineral Powder Foundation. Try using a pressed foundation. Wipe away any excess powder and like the rest of the spots you didn't get. I just feel like it doesn't leave your face looking as cakey, but don't put too much because you still want that bright look under your eye. I'm gonna go in with the eyebrow gel. That's how they look now. And back to my forehead. 2 dark spots right by my lace, which makes it very, very, very obvious, which is very annoying. But if you don't have that problem, you should be good with just putting a little bit of like the pressed powder. But for me, since I do have the dark spots, I put a teeny bit and I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit. I'm gonna let it sit, I'm gonna come back and we're gonna blend it out. This is the brush I usually use. It's just a flat brush. It's kind of like my other concealer brush. You're not painting. You are simply dabbing and dragging a little bit to cover. So that is what I'm doing. Once it's over the spot, start pressing it in around where you put it, because as you can see, now it's gone. You just want to do the same thing. Let me apply the second layer, let it dry for a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back and show you guys how I finish my forehead off, set my face, and then we'll do my lips. This is how we're looking. I'm gonna set my face. Setting spray, I use the one size. Very great, especially for the summer. The only thing I don't like about it is it feels like you're putting hairspray on your face, literally. And I be like choking. Like, I don't know what be going on, but it's really good. So I just spray my whole face with it. And then I be having to sneeze sometimes after. But like the finish looks so good. I do like to go on top of it with a dewy setting spray, but this one's the Ulta Beauty spray. This one is the dewy finish, the purple top. So for my highlight palette, I use the Morphe, the Highlight Plus Contour palette. It comes with 4 contours and 4 highlights. Light highlight under my brows, at the arch, in my inner corner, do my nose bridge. Okay, so for my lips, I honestly haven't mastered them. I haven't found the perfect shade for me. So right now I'm using the nip pencil in, this is Nutmeg. It's not brown enough for me. And I usually like doing a brown. I don't really get brown from it. So, but I do like mixing it. This is the Rose Envy lip oil from e.l.f. I think these two, they go perfect together, literally. Because like I said, this is like a more red color, and I feel like the liner looks kind of red-ish. And I just like having a pop color. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure if you liked it, give it a big thumbs up. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. I really appreciate it. I have a lot more content. I'm open to suggestions. If you have any suggestions, leave them down below. I'm into all things hair, beauty, fashion, lifestyle. Like, I'm just a girl. I love it all. So you'll love it here. Stay tuned. I'll see you in the next one.